So this is just kind of a random vlog, but I have a couple of questions, I guess, that I want to ask you guys just to get other feedback. Excuse me. Bless me. Okay, so the first thing I want to know is, do any of you guys have a living will or even just a will in general? When I was 24, I think I made a living will, which your living will, I believe, is for if you're in like a vegetative state, or if something happens where you are alive but someone has to give instructions about your life because you can't. So basically, like, your living wills has like if you don't want someone to, if you're in a vegetation state and you want them to pull the plug on you, or if you have to be put into the care of like a health facility, that someone else will be in charge of your finances and things like that. So when I was 24, I made a living will. This, of course, was before Carter was born. So I have to go back and make another living will that incorporates Carter. And then I don't actually have a will with what will happen if I were to die. And I think these are things that are important to have because you never know what could happen. So it's just one of those things to have just in case. So I'm just wondering, do any of you guys have a will or a living will in place? And do you think they're important? Because I personally think that it is a good idea to have a will or a living will because just in case. We don't want anything bad to happen, but you never know what's going to happen these days. So it's nice to have something in place saying that my estate goes to this person. I want this person to take care of me, things like that. So that's something I think you guys should think about. Wills or living wills, they're both very important. The second thing, do you guys have a savings account for your child? Carter is on the Gerber Grow Up Plan, which is a college fund slash, it can be used as life insurance as well, but it's a college fund. And basically it's protected from, like, if the stock market crashes or anything like that, your money is still there no matter what. And if your child decides not to go to college, it can still be used as money for your child for whatever they want. So you're not penalized like if your child doesn't go to college. So that is the Gerber College Grow Up Plan, I believe. And we pay $70 a month to have him in that. So by the time he's 18, we should have about $17,000 saved, which isn't really a lot. But it's something, it's a start. And of course, he can always get scholarships and Pell Grants. Hopefully that's still around by the time he goes to school. And then we have a second bank account set up for Carter, which is just a CD. In his CD, we put any money he gets from birthdays, Christmas, people who just send him money. So that goes all to his CD. And then the third thing, this is just very random. So the other day, my friend calls me and she asked me a question about dating. Who else but to ask but me, the person who's not dating? But she asked me because I used to be in like a committed relationship or whatever. So the question that she asked me was okay, basically let me give you a little background. Her and this guy used to date in high school, but they no longer date. And now it's like years later and they decided to try to talk and work it out again. But just like on a trial friendship basis. So they've been talking, I don't know, for like a month or so, I guess. And just recently she went to see him for a few days. And she felt like things were good. But when she got home, he didn't call her. He cut her off, kind of, and he hadn't talked to her at all. So she's been texting him, asking him, like, could you at least give me an explanation? And he didn't even have the decency to give her an explanation. So she said, should I be upset or should I just go off my life and brush it off? So I feel like she does have the right to somewhat be upset because they were talking on a regular basis, and then he just decided not to call her and not to talk to her. So that's not cool. And then for him to not even give her the decency to be like, I don't want to talk to you because of this, or I'm just not interested, instead of just blowing her off and not talking to her, like, that's rude, right? On the other hand, I'm like, you should just brush it off and go about your business and act like he never existed, because he obviously isn't giving you a second thought. So you should just, go on without giving him a second thought. So what is you guys' opinion? So they were talking for about a month and a half. She went to see him. Things went good. She came back. Nothing. Should she be mad? Like, how should she feel about that? So what are your opinions on that? So those are just a few questions I have for you guys, just to kind of get some feedback and to see what you guys thought about these things. So have a good night. Bye.